Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Ananda, the Galactic Mystic, and this is Navigational Astrology. We are going to navigate the leading edge of consciousness here. We're going to talk about this new moon solar eclipse in Taurus. It is luscious and sexy. We have a lot to talk about. Great big hugs to my subscriber family, and also great big hugs to you if you are new here. I hope you are cozy and comfortable. Taurus energy really likes that. That would be right on track with what we have to talk about today. So we have 2 eclipse seasons every year. And for the most part, the eclipses occur in the zodiac axis where the current transiting north node and south node are. And now the north node is in Taurus, the south node is in Scorpio, and they will be there until mid-2023. A while ago, I made a video called 6 Ways to Connect with Taurus North Node. Of course, there are a gazillion ways. I could probably make 6 more of those videos. But 6 simple ways to do that. I will put that in the description box below. Check that out for some just nice practical ways to connect with Taurus energy, because the North Node is where we are supposed to be headed. And of course, we all have our own individual North Node according to where it is in our natal chart. But where the North Node is transiting is the guide for all of us during that cycle. And life is full of cycles. Tons and tons of different cycles. We have the outer planets and their cycles. We have the solar cycle. We have our own planetary returns. And then we have the lunar cycle, which leads us through smaller bite-sized cycles that we can really connect with and use to help set our goals, let things go, follow the energy as the cycles are guiding us. So a new moon is always a time for new beginnings. This is when we plant our new seeds. A solar eclipse new moon is that on steroids. So this is a huge power potential. And honestly, I don't know if I've been as excited about an eclipse season as I am about this one. In particular, this, yum, yum, yum. Let's get started. I'm going to, well, first let's talk about Taurus energy, because what does it mean to plant new Taurus seeds? Now, this will, for each of us, it will be more applicable if you know what house in your natal chart, where Taurus is, what house Taurus rules in your chart. In the natural chart, Taurus rules the 2nd house. And this is traditionally the house of money, our possessions, our things, but it's also about our value system, our self-worth, and it's a very sensual placement. It's very body-centric. It's very much about our senses. Taurus loves yummy things that taste yummy, that sound yummy, that feel yummy, things that feel comforting, peaceful. They don't really like change. Taurus energy likes to stay comfortable, generally is very dependable, sturdy, lots of endurance and inner strength when it is expressed positively. When Taurus, and the shadow side of Taurus energy is about lack, scarcity mindset, low self-esteem and self-worth, stinginess, stubbornness, or bullheadedness, right? Taurus is the bull. And fear of taking risks, fear of stepping out of our comfort zones. Taurus loves to stay comfortable and yummy. And I don't blame, I don't blame it. I like to stay comfortable and yummy too. So let me pull up the chart so you can see what I see. And we're going to talk about this comfort zone because this eclipse season has some surprises for us when it comes to the comfort zone. Okay, my friends. So here is our new moon in Taurus, our solar eclipse in Taurus. So this is occurring April 30th, 2022. This is actually the second new moon in April, which is again, multiplies, amplifies this power. So April 30th, 2022, 4:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is also Beltane Eve and, well, Purgesnacht. We'll talk about that later. So here we have our sun-moon conjunction, our new moon at 10 degrees and 28 minutes of Taurus. Super yummy. Our lighthouse guidance, the tarot energy that is beckoning us forward on this new moon solar eclipse, is the Death card. Now, this is extremely significant considering that this is the Taurus Scorpio lunar cycle. Scorpio being ruled by Pluto and Mars. And the Death card is the Scorpio card. So we can expect endings. We can expect endings that need to end so that we can begin anew. Every ending is a new beginning. Every new beginning is an ending. So even though at this time we're talking about planting new seeds, it's because something just ended. We just closed out a cycle, baby, and we are planting these new seeds. This decan of Taurus is the transition from the 5 of Pentacles into the 6 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles being that feeling of being forgotten, being left out while everyone else has the goods. You know, you literally are like out in the cold with no shoes, looking in the window at some people enjoying some really lovely Taurus things, a warm fire, a blanket, some hot cocoa. Where the 6 of Pentacles is the most beautiful. Well, 6 is associated with Venus, and the 6th card of every suit in the tarot is considered to be the most perfect expression of that element, of that suit. So the 6 of Pentacles is this charitable, beautiful, giving nature. This is a helping hand. This is an upliftment coming out of that being left out in the cold. So while we're sort of ruminating on all of this, we have to consider, again, this axis of Taurus and Scorpio. In navigational astrology, this is the axis of power. And power includes many things. Of course, money and all of the Taurus things that we were talking about, but also things like manipulation, gaslighting, lies, being controlled, controlling others, all that shadowy shit. Like, It's all part of this. So during this cycle, I'm kind of skipping ahead and like talking a little bit about the full moon lunar eclipse, because when that rolls around, some really powerful endings are going to occur. And we want to have our feet solid on the ground. We want to have our seeds already planted, because the seeds that we are planting are seeds of self-power. Taurus is about the self. My dog is about to the trash, guys. So Taurus is our self-power. So we are planting new seeds of our own effing power, because there's going to be an ending involving power that involves other people, resources that involve other people. Scorpio is, it includes other people. So there's going to be an ending around that. And Taurus loves to be safe. And for now, the way that we are going to be safe is to plant these new seeds of self-worth, self-power. And let's talk about this. Okay. So we have Uranus here. Taurus doesn't like Uranus because it's unpredictable. It's surprising. You can't see it coming. It comes out of the blue and you don't know what it is. It's not inherently positive or negative, but it is a shock. It's a lightning rod to our comfort zones. And so this is uncomfortable for Taurus energy, but we are going to embrace this because we're ready for the next level. Uranus is bringing this loss of equilibrium as we are leveling up. A lot of people have been sending me messages about, how do I do this? How do I level up? How do I, that was weird. How do I start new patterns, let go of old patterns? And it's very simple. You already know where you need to make these changes. Trust yourself. Believe yourself. Taurus likes that. So take out a piece of paper, make some goals, and then give yourself the gift of commitment. Use the power, the strength, the dedication, the endurance of Taurus to take micro steps, achieve small things, and celebrate all of those small things as you step out of your comfort zone. Now, Taurus loves to stay stuck, loves to stay in toxic situations because it's comfortable and familiar. And listen, most of the time when we are afraid to do something new, to take a risk, it's because we are either afraid of rejection, ridicule, shame, etc., or we don't believe we are worthy. We don't believe we have what it takes. We don't believe in ourselves. The way to master Taurus energy is not about nickel and dime bets on ourselves. It's, well, yes, I did just say take micro steps, but you're taking micro steps toward a big goal. Taurus mastery includes big bets on yourself, taking big risks. And it isn't even about success or failure. It's about how you treat yourself, whether you succeed or fail. Do you have your own back? Do you repeat the criticisms of others? Do you use that to abuse yourself? That's more of that Scorpio thing because it involves other people, but still it's our own self-belief that we're allowing to be affected by other people. So there are a lot of tips and tricks, and that's not really why I'm here today. But if you are interested in that, maybe come join my Facebook group and we can talk more intimately about these things. So the pitfalls of Taurus also include a lack of imagination or a lack of connection to the fanciful aspect of the human psyche. And we have all of this here encouraging that dreaming into existence. Venus and Jupiter are exactly conjunct at 27 degrees of Pisces. And this happens every couple years, and every round of this brings a gift. It's just the most beautiful energy that I can even imagine. I always say that everything in astrology has a shadow side, and it's hard to, of course, there is a shadow side to this, but it's like the nicest shadow side possible, you know? So really take advantage of this, because part of believing in ourselves is that imagining how we see ourselves. So this is a great time to implement a practice of visualizing yourself as the badass you already are, but want to become, the achievements you want, the things you want in your life. We also have a beautiful sextile with Mars, which is again amplifying that endurance. Everything is in place here. Everything is in place to really break out into a new path, you guys. I mean, like, there's no excuse. Everything is set up. Everything is set up for each one of us, for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. So maybe you think you don't know enough, or you don't have anything to offer, or maybe you think you're not worthy of what you want, you're not worthy of money, you're not worthy of the perfect relationship, or you don't have the right to share knowledge or to teach or guide or do readings or any of that. Let me explain something to you. There are people out there who need exactly what you have to offer right now and every step of the way. You are someone's answered prayer. There will always be someone who needs what you have to offer at every moment and stage of the game. Okay. And when it comes to money, money has nothing to do with worth. If that were true, all the billionaires that exist in our world would be the most giving, charitable, kind, happy, healthy, and they're not. Most of the time, their relationships are shit. They just project a false reality. Now, the way that we project onto people really matters. I'm going to tell you a story. When I was in nursing school, I realized that everyone, all the people that I think know more than me, all the people who are teaching me, all the people who are in positions of power, prestige, all of that, they're just regular. They're just regular. And I realized this as I noticed how many mistakes my teachers made, how many things they didn't know. Really, how many mistakes, like how many things they taught that were literally incorrect. And they're doing their best, and they still did a great job, and they, graduated a class of nurses out into the world. Several years ago, I paid $350 for a reading that was 100% copy and pasted from the internet, to the point that the person didn't even change the font, that the reading was literally, each section was in the font from the place they copy and pasted it from. I mean, there are people who take a weekend course on astrology and then begin to teach astrology. And they're successful because they believe in themselves. And listen, I'm super judgy about all that. Like, I think I'm really, really against our copy and paste culture in astrology and mysticism in this whole field. While at the same time, I can recognize that people succeed not because of how good they are, how knowledgeable they are. None of that actually matters. It's only the self-belief that matters. And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but it can inspire us if we let it. It can give us permission to make mistakes, to be imperfect, to show up as we are, to share what we have now, knowing that someone out there needs what we have. There's so much beautiful energy to this new moon. Like I said, everything is in place. We have Mercury even conjunct the Pleiades. This actually brings me to this super sexy, sensual energy of this new moon, solar eclipse. Okay. Taurus being the senses, the body. I mean, Pleiades energy is all about being in the body, using the energy of the body spiritually, using our sexual energy spiritually, using our body's ability to build energy, release it, and then use it to manifest, to feed these visions of where we're going, our goals, because we have to see it in our minds. We have to inspire ourselves, and we can use the magic and power of our bodies to do that. This is Beltane. Beltane is spring's peak. It's the middle point between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. It is a ripe, sensual, sexy, divine union of energies, masculine and feminine, the god and goddess, heaven and earth, bringing heaven to earth, heaven on earth, the Garden of Eden. What does your Garden of Eden look like? What does it feel like? What sensual delights are in your Garden of Eden? The asteroid Eros is also conjunct this new moon solar eclipse, which, I mean, I couldn't make that up if I tried. Beltane is a fire festival. Many of the historic ways that Beltane was celebrated had to do with purification in order to ensure fertility. Bonfires were lit, and they would drive their cattle through the fires in order to purify them and to ensure a fertile season. The maypole is a depiction of masculine, phallic, and feminine, folds and ribbons together as one. And, as a child, going to all the Beltane parties that my parents took me to, I didn't realize that I was basically wrapping lady parts around male parts with the maypole dances. But that's what it is. This is super sexy, you guys. The veil on Beltane is thin anyway. The veil during eclipse season is thin anyway. So like, you might actually see fairies. You might actually see things beyond the veil. The magic right now is just, you cannot, it's so major. It's so major, the magic, major magic. So the word Beltane comes from the name of the god Bel, who is a fire god. And, one of the ways that I like to celebrate Beltane, some of which I can't share with you, but other ways is to climb a mountain, hike to the top of a hill, and light a candle, simulating these bonfires that were lit on the hillsides to draw down heaven to this earth into our body. Eros is the Greek god of sexual desire, love, and beauty. His Roman equivalent was Cupid. He was originally worshipped as a fertility deity, which is perfect for Beltane, perfect for this new moon solar eclipse in Taurus. And he was one of the primordial gods of Aphrodite, the primordial children gods of Aphrodite. This new moon is also conjunct many stars in the constellation Cassiopeia. Now, Cassiopeia is one of my favorite energies, along with Pleiades. Cassiopeia, though, is so joyful. This is a joyful energy. A lot of the beings from Cassiopeia beam a golden light to humans. They have a connection to the Fae realm, to the elementals. And so it's, again, asking us to connect physically with the earth, with our bodies, but not in a way that leaves out the magical and mystical, because the magical and mystical is an inherent part of the physical. They are married. They are in divine union. Cassiopeia asks us to love in ways that we may not expect. There's also a genius energy there. So any ideas that you get, write them down. With Uranus in play here, we could be getting just flashes of ideas. We could feel them in our bodies because this is a very physical energy. Take note, pay attention, and write that shit down. Make those goals. I'm a girl who loves lists. Just this morning, I made like 5 or 6 different lists in the different categories of my life, things that I want to achieve. Some were small and some were quite large and long-term. But there's something about making those lists and then committing to achieving those things, no matter what it takes. This is alchemy at its finest, for sure. And like I said, maybe 2 or 3 times already, everything is in place. Everything is in place. The dreaming it into reality is in place, but we can't just dream. We can't just sit around and manifest. We can't just be like, money, come to me, money, money. We can't visualize it and then expect it to happen, because the thing that is missing there is action, risk-taking, consistency, and self-belief. We need all of it in order to truly use the law of attraction properly, to manifest, to achieve all of our divine and destined greatness. Before we close out, let's take a look at the Chandra symbol for this new moon and see what she says. So this is for 11 degrees of Taurus, because the way degree interpretations go, you look at the degree ahead unless it's exact. So Taurus 11, a woman with flames for hair, direct, full on, unstoppable, pushing for optimal outcomes. You are self-convinced and hard driving, so passionate about your own desire and impulse that anything off to the side is far out of the picture. and all that counts is to have your say, to make your impact. Something long gathering, suddenly emerging as rage, self-intent, need, and craving. Personal to the nth degree, me mattering after being counted out. That's that 5 of coins, 5 of pentacles we were talking about. You feel the surge of power of someone who recognizes that they are bearing a life force that can no longer be put down. And you follow the brightness wherever it takes you, blindly and beautifully. I don't know if you can hear Charlie sneezing, but he put an exclamation point at the end of that. I couldn't have said that any better. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you for liking and subscribing and sharing. And what goals are you setting? Let me know in the comments so I can behold your magnificence. I will see you soon.